After Party on the Power Trip Podcast Network.
All right, here we are. It's the After Party, and it is the 29th day of May, and it's 2020, and Sauce and Corey Cove, and Zach is over there, and here's AJ, and I'm Chris Hockey, and here we are. Here we are, guys. Here we are.
Hi, Hogs.
Hi.
Hey.
Winner, chicken dinner, Hockey.
Yeah, no, I can't believe it. Can't believe it.
Dude, again, you got a couple that were not very specific, even like hot tamales.
What was the Hawaiian Tropic one? How did you get that?
Well, I said it to Zach in the After Party interview. For some reason, when you said HT, that was the first thing that popped into mind, and I wrote it down immediately. But I almost never write things down. I've told you guys that before because it gets you distracted. You start finding ways to put things into that. But for some reason, when you said he created it in his garage or whatever you said, whatever that clue was, I was like,
$500 loan from his dad.
I'm like, come on.
That's a business.
That's something you would make in your garage for the first time.
Yeah, it's a great point.
Right. But man, Hawaiian Tropic's the one that smells like summer, essentially, right? I mean, that's what you think when you smell that.
Like
Banana boat, same sort of,
Yeah, it smells like coconuts or whatever, right?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so.
Man, those Hawaiian Tropic girls from Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah, what a great scene.
Yep. I don't know.
Town is that way. What a great freaking day.
God, what a brilliant way to end the movie.
Do you realize what you've
done? He chases him down.
I'm so glad I didn't go with you guys to see the second one.
Oh.
Because I never have that movie to like stain my memory of the first one.
Oh, God.
I will never see it, and then I just have the first one, and its own cute little bubble,
bit
not
aside.
tainted.
It's maybe the worst film I've ever seen is the Ed Helms Vacation remake. That's the worst film I've ever seen.
I don't think I ever saw
Oh,
that.
it's awful. It's so bad. But this is up there. I mean, even Hockey and I are like, what are we doing? But the popcorn was good.
I can legitimately tell you there's only one funny scene in that movie, and I remember it very well. Remember when they drive around to go to the address, and then they come back to the same house they left because he looked at the to address instead of the from address. That's a funny moment. Other than that, there's no funny moment in that movie, which seems impossible.
It's just cheap, and they look old, and the makeup's bad.
Yep.
There's got to be like a clock that starts the second a movie is successful. Start the clock, and if you can't come up with a good script or plot within about 12 months, you should probably just let it go. Right? If you don't have a good idea for a sequel within the first year, just let it go.
Just move on.
Right.
Well said. Yeah. Fuck it.
Yeah. Right. Fuck it.
Yeah. Fuck it, man.
Yeah, man.
Fuck it.
Right.
Yeah. That's right. So.
All right. So Rube Party canceled.
That's right.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Especially if it gets dicey again tonight, and there's no reason to think that it won't because it looks like it's going to.
Right.
Again, but maybe the National Guard is the game changer, though, right? Maybe that slows it down or at least reels it in a little bit. What a weird time, man.
Let's hope.
Yeah.
How about for some positivity for a second?
Yeah, sure, please.
Your
I'd
new
love
lady
it.
friend?
No. What's her name?
Yeah, what is her name?
Tina, right?
No, it's not Tina.
Charlotte?
How about yesterday?
Tina Charlotte?
Tina. My folks see my sister for the first time since
I saw that
February,
picture,
and she's got her fucking shirt of the three of us on it.
She had to be so happy, man.
Yeah, she was pumped.
I gotta believe, yeah. Right. Good for her. She's doing okay? Everything?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
I mean, she's been tested 3 times.
Right.
So, yeah.
Speaking of that, would you tell your daddy needs to get tested for herpes?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
And not just once, because this might be the bad one.
Yeah, and this time on his rectum.
From?
A penis, obviously. What?
Yeah, but who? Yours?
I'm not going to answer that question.
Okay.
I don't know why.
What's he currently doing?
Probably aching. Right?
Probably aching.
Yeah.
My sources say obeying.
Yeah, right. Right.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Well played.
Waiting for orders.
Yeah,
That's right.
waiting
That's
to
right.
be told what to do.
Speaking of Mark Rosen, did you guys see our former intern Whitney's picture that she posted?
Yeah.
6 years ago today. And she posted a picture, and it's me and Saucy as got his arm around me, and for some reason pinching my nipple.
Of course.
And then Corey with the most dramatic neckbeard photo of all time.
Oh, all right.
No, for real. I mean,
Really?
This is, if you needed an example of a neckbeard, that's it.
Yeah, the shadow's not helping, and that's
Not at
a
all.
pretty thick
Hold
neck.
on.
Look at that. Look at that. That's, I mean,
Oh, my God.
dictionary,
Yep.
right?
Good looking kid.
Whitney looking pretty as she always did. Then JG right there. A very young-looking Mark Rosen.
Jersey Thursdays.
Who the hell is that guy then? You guys have any idea who that dude is?
On the right or left?
Yeah.
Is that Ellie?
That's Ellie.
That's Ellie.
That is?
Yeah, and then Ron Jeremy's the other guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Mm-hmm. That's
what if you woke
Tim
up to
High.
that?
I think it was just a regular Monday.
Yeah. I would say, where do I leave the check?
What are we, bitch?
Yep. No, that was a picture of Mark Rosen he was showing me. In case you were not in the studio with us right now.
Yeah.
Speaking of leaving the check.
Yeah.
I was listening to Stern talk about talking to Sebastian Maniscalco.
Yeah.
Stand-up comedian. Mm-hmm. And he was telling this really good story about Seinfeld opened for him once, like as a surprise, like he wanted to do some time.
Oh,
so
nice,
obviously
yeah.
Sebastian's like, well, fuck. I mean, if Seinfeld wants to do time, he gets time, obviously.
Yeah.
And how hard it is to follow Jerry Seinfeld when you're Sebastian Maniscalco. But then they became friends, and he told the story about the first time going out to dinner with just Seinfeld, which... Think about that if you're us, right? If you're just because this sounds like when Sebastian, it sounds like he had made some movement, but I don't know if he was like selling out arenas, Sebastian, yet at that point, if that makes sense.
Okay, yep.
I don't know exactly the timeline. So he was somebody, but not like as big as he is now, I think. And Seinfeld wants to go out to dinner with you.
Wow.
Which has got to be super cool, right? You got to feel like I've made it. But he said he was effing terrified because he's like, am I buying Seinfeld dinner?
No chance.
Is
right?
he buying
know,
me dinner?
Right?
And
right.
but I hadn't even thought of this. He's like, Seinfeld's got hundreds of millions of dollars. He's like, if I offer to pick up the tab, Mark Parrish, if I offer to pick up the tab, and then Seinfeld starts ordering $12,000 bottles of wine, I'm screwed. He's like, what do I do? So he said he couldn't get comfortable because he was sweating the entire bill the entire time because he's like, I got to pick up this tab.
Yeah,
I have to.
right.
It's Seinfeld. It's the first. I got to pick it up. And he said at the end, this is the spoiler if you don't go back and listen, but the spoiler is at the end of it, after a nice little conversation, Seinfeld's like, all right, take it easy. And there was never a bill presented. He's like, what happened? What? And Seinfeld just left. So as they became friends, he at some point went back and was like, hey, the first time we went out to dinner, like, no bill ever popped up. Like, I didn't know if I was supposed to pay, but, like, nobody ever paid. What happened? Seinfeld calls ahead and basically puts the card on the tab, basically saying, here's what the tip's going to be, or percentage-wise. Here's the tip, here's the card. And he doesn't effing worry about it. And it sounds like he has people that do it. So he doesn't even have to worry about it.
Wow.
So much money, he doesn't even want to be hassled with. I don't even want to see what the number is.
Wow.
I don't care. Somebody else take care of it. So Sebastian basically says, it was super weird because they just left. He's like, we didn't just like dine and dash for thousands of dollars. Nobody paid the bill.
Wow.
He said it was tripping him out, and then Seinfeld eventually told him the full story.
Wow. Any guess on his net worth, Seinfeld?
Well, this new HBO, was it HBO Max? Who just gave him and Larry David like a shitload of money? He's got to be close to $1 billion now. If it's an updated number.
Right.
I think they each got like $200 or $300 million a piece, those two.
Yeah.
So my guess is he's worth something like $600 to $800 million. That's if I had to guess. Sauce?
I bet it's $900 million.
Zach, can you look it up?
I got it.
Oh,
you already
AJ's
got it? I'm
it.
sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
Parrish, take a
Zach's
shot.
looking.
I'm going with $1 billion.
You're going to say $1 billion?
Yeah.
I'm going to, for some reason, go like $600 million. I'm going to lowball it.
I'm sorry, not hockey. Parrish and Meat Sauce split the difference, $950.
Wow.
Jeez.
$950 million.
Can you imagine?
Parrish, give me an NHL story where you've had dinner with somebody where you were somewhat in that spot where you didn't know who was going to pick up the bill and the bill was going to be massive, and how does that work?
I was going to say rookie parties. I've been there. Sometimes when just everybody gets hammered at the table and I'm the last one sitting there. When Rosie invites everyone.
Power Trip Vegas.
Buffalo Wild Wings Vegas.
David.
Thank you for doing that.
It's still one of my favorite moments ever is when Chris goes, I gave that son of a bitch $300.
That story?
That was the best.
Yeah, because you guys were like, he was so nice, he wouldn't take our money. I'm like, what?
And Creasel offered him money too. And he took Creasel's money.
He wouldn't take my money.
Wouldn't take Dobbs. Wouldn't take mine.
Talk's
but he
$300.
took. Yeah.
Sure, I'll take it.
Thanks.
Finally kind of sank in, I guess. how
Yeah.
much it
Yeah,
was.
yeah, right.
I loved Parrish just naively going like, I'm sure iHeart will expense this. What?
That thought might have crossed my mind.
Nope.
Nope, not gonna happen.
So that's when I got really lucky because I offered it when he still thought that was a possibility.
I thought you were screwing with me at first.
No. So what?
Well, who got it first, Dov or you?
I was the first one that got it.
Yeah, it was you. You got it first, didn't you?
So, what
You
you
were
mean?
before- I know
You mean when Buffalo Wild Wings
She
Yeah.
came to
us?
me
Didn't
after
she?
you.
I was right before Parrish, so I don't know if I was first.
I think
but
Dov was.
But again, what was the weirdest part of that story? And I know people that are diehard fans of the show have heard this story 10 times. But the weirdest part is I never pointed to Mark, going like, "Well, why don't you go ask him?" I literally had my hands up like a shrug, just going, "I don't know." Like, 'cause when the drinks were coming to us and Sarah was bringing them to us, nobody knew who was paying. Like, I didn't know if they were getting comped by B-dubs. I didn't know what it was. So when she's like, "Who's supposed to pay for this?" When I was like, good question. I don't know. She turns around and sees Mark and
Mind
just
you,
goes,
you're all hammered.
right.
Oh my
she
gosh,
went
was I
straight for
drunk.
Parrish like, I know he's a part of the show. Maybe he'll do it. And Parrish whips out his credit card and pays for it.
Man.
Find the whale.
Yeah.
Thought I was going to be reimbursed.
Oh my gosh, was I wasted.
But what a fun little social experiment
Yeah.
because you offered him 300. I offered him 200. I think Creasel offered him like 150.
Yeah.
So like all of us threw numbers. So like it was a fun little way to see how much invested we were in Parrish's bill, right? I'll throw 200 at it, and Mark's like, "Nah, I don't need your money." Chris goes, I'll give you 300. Okay.
That's Well, the best is when he found out on the air.
That
What?
Was, yeah.
He fucking took my money.
took my $300.
And you know what I remember the most
best.
about it, though, was sitting here thinking to myself, am I misremembering this?
Right.
I'm almost positive I gave him money.
You wouldn't take our cash.
It's okay, baby.
It was the
I gave him
best.
$5 for my Mountain Dew, and he took that.
Oh,
Very fair.
Yeah, there you
Yeah,
go.
there you go.
So, top of your head, ballpark it, whether it's rookie meals or whatever, or dining in New Jersey with big shots or whatever the deal is. Biggest bill you've ever been a part of at a restaurant? I don't care if it's 2 people or a 50-person team bid. Biggest bill you've actually ever seen with your own eyes?
It was almost 50 grand.
Jesus.
No
For a
kidding.
rookie.
Where
Yeah.
at?
Florida, the Islanders.
And how much of that was on you?
It was not too much, actually. I'm pretty nice when it comes to that because there's always somebody that's going to buy the Magnum Crystals.
Sure.
$2,500 a pop or whatever.
And you've obviously that means you've tasted that before.
Yes.
And?
What's it like? Does
It
does
tastes like
make your
champagne.
penis grow? I mean,
Right.
Right.
So it's
Why
the
is it
same
so
as a
good?
$30 bottle?
Because it's in songs, maybe?
Yeah.
I have no
Oh,
idea.
Yeah,
man.
right. That's what I mean.
Nikki would maybe be able to tell the difference. I can't tell.
Sure.
I don't.
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
don't get that. I don't get it.
Yeah.
I swear, if I had 950 million like Seinfeld, I would still be buying very affordable
Cane's.
wine and for sure. I'd go to Cane's and just tip them more.
And can you imagine how those sorts of like status symbols have been boosted since social media has become a thing too?
Yeah, no doubt.
Because it's not as much as I like the taste of this better or it's more high quality. It's look at this picture of me holding this bottle or this glass or this whatever.
Marketing.
Yeah, man.
There's somebody just emailed me this, or Zach, maybe try to look this up. There's like an economic term for that, like false value based on influence. It's like a Kim Kardashian, Paris Hilton
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
where
right.
There's some kind of name for luxury items that are inflated, and both parties know it's inflated, but you're still willing to pay it.
Yeah.
The false inflation.
Dude, I swear to you, I just listened to an audiobook about that exact thing, about social media influencers, and I can't remember the name of it. But you're right, there's a term for it.
Because it's not just about being a sucker, right? It's not like those are worth $3,000. You know it's
Yeah.
not worth $3,000, but you're like, what is it called? False consensus effect? Ooh, I don't know.
Consensus bias?
No.
No, now you're just making up words.
I think it's a more specific term than that. That sounds a little generic. I don't know what it's called. If you can't find it, maybe somebody
Being a
listening to this podcast. Say what?
Being a sucker.
That's part of it.
Yeah, but again, to Corey's point, everybody involved knows they're paying way too much.
Yes.
but
Yeah.
they're doing it on purpose because of what
Status.
Yeah, right. That's
it's
it.
It's
yeah.
a status verifier. It's I have the money to buy $3,000 bottles, even though I know they're the same as a $100
Oh, is that your
bottle.
wallet?
Or if you don't like the rookie that's paying for dinner.
Fair, right? But I just had never thought of it like that when he was saying I don't know what kind of wine Seinfeld drinks. If I say, hey, dude, I got the tab. Thanks for meeting me for dinner. What if he runs up a giant bill and you're stuck with it?
Muss has a similar story with Steve Hutchinson. They were in Chicago for something with Hutch and his wife. Mm-hmm. And Muss told his wife, he's like, we have to buy. Logan and Steve buy every single time. And it was the same thing. Steve and his wife bought a bunch of wine, and all of a sudden
expensive
Muss is going,
wine. Yeah.
Oh, fuck. And then the bill comes, Steve goes, no.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, right. You know what that reminds me of? And this is so comparatively so stupid, but it reminds me because it kind of puts in perspective where I was when I was 19 years old. My brother came to visit me in Virginia Beach when I was 19, and I was making $4.75 an hour. And I was like, I felt like Mr. Big Time because I lived on the beach, and I was like, yeah, let's go get something to eat. And I know this is dumb, but again, you got to remember where I was and who I was. I took him to McDonald's for lunch, and I was like, I'm buying. And he ordered the family-sized chicken nuggets, and I was so pissed at him because I was like,
20 piece, you
literally,
dick!
I can remember going, I'm not sure I can afford this. I really
piece
can't.
of shit, that's 3 hours of work, you asshole.
$4.75 an hour. That's a lot of work to pay off those nuggets.
Is it the Veblen good?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Veblen.
That sounds. Read the
Veblen
definition.
good.
That sounds right.
A type of luxury good for which demand increases as the price increses.
Yes,
and
that's
100%
what I was thinking
demand
of.
resulting in upward sloping demand curve.
Right.
Higher price makes it desirable as a status symbol.
Right. So it's if that $3,000 bottle of wine was $20, no one would want it.
I'll tell you exactly
but the fact that it's $3,000 is like, I have to have it. I want it more because it's worth more. It's like, what?
And it's getting it in the right hands. I mean, it's giving it away to people like the Kardashians.
Sure.
So then you just see it, and it becomes associated with them. There's an Malcolm Gladwell is fascinating to me. His books and whatever. Mm-hmm. And there's one that I read in college. I forget if it was Blink or the Tipping. It might have been the Tipping Point, where they were talking about how Sam Adams got their start in Boston and how they kind of underground this craft beer at the time. Mm-hmm. What they would do is they would put labeled empties in the recycling bins on the alleys of bars, so that the recycling plant would get all these Sam Adams bottles that would come in, and somebody within the industry noticed that there were all these this is everywhere. They have this here, and it became this kind of groundswell of just interest and demand for something that didn't even really exist at the time. And it was just a marketing strategy where they would just put empties in the recycling bins, and people saw them and thought that, my gosh, look how many Sam Adams they went through. Sure. We got to get that at our bar. And that's how they got started. And obviously, I think it was the tipping point, because it talks about the point where it tips and it just goes and becomes a mainstream thing.
Don't you think
genius?
Don't you think women have to deal with this more, I think, than men? Because I think of like handbags and purses that are like, are you like, you really want that purse for that much money? Like, why? There's no way it's worth that, right? But it's just, I have a Kate Spade or Louis Vuitton bag. It's the same goddamn thing.
And think of like makeup. Think like the Kardashian, one of the younger sisters who has a makeup line, who's a billionaire now.
Yeah, Kylie.
That's the same bit.
Right.
There's no way you're going to convince me that is higher quality product, that it costs more to make than L'Oreal.
And I've heard, by the way, I've heard it's good stuff, but to your point, is it that much
is it $50
better?
$50 a pop for a thing of lipstick more?
Right. I've heard it is good stuff though. That it's not like it's not just the name. That it's quality stuff, because that's the way to be a billionaire, right? Is you had to have the name and the reach, but it had to be quality.
Dude, you nailed it right there. Part of the point of the book I was telling you guys about, I was listening about media influencers, was the fact that at first people would just take on anything just to get the money from it, but the really good ones make sure the product isn't shit before they endorse it.
Yeah. Think of Fire Festival.
Yeah, right.
How that popped up and got everybody in there, and it seemed like such a cool thing, and they made the cool promo videos, and then it didn't work because they hadn't planned it, obviously, behind the scenes. But that was they had the first couple steps right, and they just didn't do the back end quality planning and quality product.
That was my one thing with Northland. It had to be quality.
Yeah,
it had to be good.
If you're going to put your name on something, you have to make sure it's worth it, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and not just endorsing it. To Parrish's point, if you're going to be a part of a company, you got to really believe it, right? That it's legit.
Yep.
Oh, it is.
That's tough.
I tell you.
Yeah.
Man, I want to be a social media influencer and get paid to tweet.
Didn't that? Yeah, one of the Kardashians, didn't she get paid like $250,000?
A lot of them do.
Yeah.
I think
she had to
almost
pay it
all of
back.
them do.
The Firefest
Right.
Kendall did, and I'm pretty sure she got sued and had to pay it back.
But the rest of them are making money all the time for tweeting.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. This lady who wrote that book I was talking about, her job is to hire, what's the word? I'm sorry,
Influencers?
Influencers. So she works for companies. They come to her and say, we need somebody to push this product, and then she finds the influencers. And she talked about not just using like Kendall Jenner or whatever, people who already have but finding people who are on the rise and hiring them so that they can be long-term endorsers. And it's incredible to see what she talks about and to see what she looks for and how she keeps an eye on people. She was talking about how if somebody gets to about 60,000 followers on Instagram, something goes off on her computer to let her know to keep an eye on that person, and she watches them for a while. And she said the really fun thing is to see somebody that you're kind of digging and you're kind of watching them grow, and then they go from 70,000 followers to 300,000 followers in like a day. And you're like, okay, well, that person bought their followers. They're done.
Oh.
So you can see when people do that. It's because obviously there are services out there where they'll sell you followers and it's just bots.
Yeah.
And so you use that to inflate how many people you actually have following you. And so she keeps an eye on people for a while before she actually hires them, and then she'll hire them.
Because isn't the key, at the end of the day, like, because we can say, and again, we do radio endorsements, right? So I don't look down on social media influencers like, who the hell do they think they are?
Yeah, right.
Because at the end of the day, it's just about return on investment,
Of course.
right? If
Just
you're
like
a
any
business,
advertiser.
if radio is going to make you money, you go to radio. If social media is going to give you a chance to make money, you go to social media. It's just, if all of them are making you money, then you're probably investing in all of them, right? It's all about, can you flip a dollar to make more money? And clearly major corporations see social media influencers as positive ROI.
Well,
so you go there.
It's a giant return on investment because not only do you get those followers to see your product, but then the people who actually saw that, they buy the product or retweet it. So you're buying, quadruple the amount of
advertising and actual revenue.
Exactly right.
Right.
Check this out, and you guys tell me if this sounds incorrect to you, but I think it was a rapper named Mace.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys, they did something a few years ago called the Instagram Purge, where they went through and eliminated all the bots that they knew were bots. Instagram did. He went from 1.3 million followers to 200,000.
Whoa. Mace is on Instagram?
I think it was. I'm almost positive it was Mace. I forgive me if I'm wrong about that, but that sticks in my mind that was the right guy or the right person. But he went and AJ, you know what I'm talking about?
Sorry,
I'm sorry. No, I know. That's but you. This is kind of your world.
I'm doing my Mace impression.
That's pretty
Is
good.
that what he sounds like? Instagram Purge.
That's pretty good.
There was a rapper who went from like 1.3 million followers to 200,000 after
they cleared out the fake
They cleared
ones?
out the fake ones. Yeah. Does that sound right? Okay. Yeah. All right.
Big
Pun.
D, something
Dick?
like that.
Big
The guy that
Dick?
used to work
There's
here?
a rapper named Big Dick.
Yeah.
Why do you just come in and start throwing filth around, AJ?
Come on, man.
I don't know why you're like
Yeah,
this.
the
We're
guy
doing
that
a
used to
completely.
work here, he had that shit.
Did he really?
I have 1,300,000 Instagram followers
How's he
now.
doing?
200,000.
Well, and Twitter did this too. That was the
don't
big
know.
Twitter bit. So Twitter, a year and a half ago, cleaned up all the bots, everything.
Yeah.
And it affected me because it cleaned up the bots that automate messages that the station would send out.
Oh, right.
So we had a
okay.
system where I post a blog and it automatically pushes out to Facebook and Twitter. Great, because it saves me a step. But Twitter stopped doing that, so that tool stopped working for Twitter. I'd had to manually do it, copy paste, whatever. All good. Facebook still did it. Now they brought some of that back. If you're proven that you are not spamming people, you're actually putting quality content out. You're not trying to sell a product.
Sure,
You're just sharing information, sharing blogs, whatever. But it doesn't surprise me that Instagram, which is owned by Facebook, by the way, is following suit and doing some of these things now. Facebook having a current issue now. I know not many of you are on. Is anyone Zach's on Facebook? That might be the last one. There is an issue with a ton of friend requests. It's basically Twitter bots where you get the models who follow you or like a tweet from 2 years ago.
I almost got laid.
Yeah, remember it was an older
how did
lady.
that go?
Yeah, right.
She stopped responding after.
Well, you told her
Damn
your
it.
kids died.
Yeah, you did say
I
that.
was trying for the sympathy.
Facebook
word.
getting really
Yeah.
get hit really hard by fake friend requests, which is the same sort of thing. So
Sure.
they're gonna have to clean that up now. I mean, it's an evolving thing that'll never change. TikTok will happen to them too. They're just the new fresh thing right now.
TikToko.
TikToko.
That's what it sounded like you said. I like it. That sounds good. I was wrong, by the way. It's a rapper named Akon.
Oh yeah, Akon.
Yeah.
He might have
Yeah,
the
how
song of the
dare
summer
you.
this year.
How dare you
Oh my God.
What's it
it's
called?
really good. What is it?
Is it called Nobody Can Leave the House and Be Careful?
Yeah.
Akon did that. Didn't he do that? I just had
That's
sex
not
bit with the Lonely
iHeartRadio.
Island.
I think he did, yeah.
It's
a funny bit.
It's how I listen to you too. Right now, Nah Nah Nah, phenomenal song. Look
Right
up.
Now,
Could be
Nah
the
Nah
song
Nah.
of the summer 2020. One more thing. What do I have to blow to get the Power Trip account to follow me?
My gosh.
Because, I mean,
Well, there's a long list. I mean,
Corey, put your fucking hands down.
you didn't have to blow them twice?
I don't know how to continue.
Yeah, I think we stop.
Technically, you have the password and you could do it yourself.
I'm not doing that. I'm not going to go follow myself, AJ. You go follow yourself.
Just on principle. Yeah, so like it's because I have access to the account, it's linked. The Power Trip I think is linked. It might even be a link to my email because when Zach was up till God knows when the other night following the riots for the first time.
Falling asleep in studio.
No, when I woke up in the morning, it said like new Twitter login, and it was like 1:37 in the morning. I'm like, who the hell's logging into Twitter at 1:37 in the morning? It was Halverson posting pictures of riots and shit at 2:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
Go to bed.
I did. I slept last night and missed everything.
What'd you miss?
I missed all the fires and all the riots and all the
Yeah.
stuff.
But here's what you need to do, Corey. If he controls it or if someone actually follows, whatever, every time Zach gets followed by the Power Trip account, unfollow. Unfollow.
You won't block them.
Unfollow. Just back and forth.
I might just block
Don't
him.
That's a
block
good
him
idea,
because we wanted to
block
see it.
Yeah.
Tell me who's hot, who's not, who's selling in the store, who's drops the
What happened to Mace? He really had a lot of talent.
Yeah, he was like, he just
Problems.
didn't have a good recruiting class and he got fired
One song.
Yeah, I'm missing.
He's on with Barrero during
all
the
the
football
time.
season.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, he's really good.
My little Mace is at home eating toast right now.
Aww.
Toast kicks ass.
Toast is the
Yeah,
best.
they did. Abby did rainbow toast. You ever done that? Do you know what that is?
Rainbow toast.
You take
It's all inclusive, isn't it?
You get like a muffin tin or something, like even it could be a paint tin tray if you have it, and you put a little bit of milk and a food coloring, and then you paint your toast and throw it in the toaster, and so then it comes out and it's rainbow toast.
That
And it can be
sounds
whatever
insane.
design you
Very
want.
cute.
And so they're having fun with that right now.
That's awesome.
My neighbors like to do things together, which as a mostly non-social guy, it's like, can I just go inside and play Rocket League? Like, do
Yeah.
I have to hang out with all
You're
of you?
still playing that?
Yeah, I check every time I check in. My Rocket League phase has passed. Like I'll still play it, whatever.
I love it.
But every time I log in to do an exercise at night
Right.
or to play Mario Kart every night, Corey and DK,
DK and Nelly.
are
They're all-
on.
What
We're all
about
in
Perry?
Rocket
Perry,
League.
are you still playing it too?
Yeah, we played it a little
we played
bit.
it last week a little bit.
Corey stole a couple goals from me.
That's what I do.
I try to get him back. He just beats me to that damn ball.
So when I'm not stealing Parrish's goals in Rocket League though, but like when I'm doing stuff with the neighbors, I'm like, all right, whatever. You guys are tolerable. My neighbor suggested having like a neighborhood state fair since. Sorry, Chris, but the state fair has been canceled.
What?
Where each house basically has to like do one state fair item, and then the whole
You're
neighborhood
doing
just freaking
footlong
parties.
hot dogs?
No, that's what I was. There's so many good options. Like I want fresh cut fries. I want mini donuts. I want cheese curds. What the
pork chop on a stick.
Scooter can
big flat bacon
Scooter
guy?
can do
Pizza
that.
on a stick is my favorite food at the fair.
Yeah.
Really?
Damn, I love that.
So is
Lemonade.
it like a hot pocket or what? How does it?
Yeah, it's sort of like that. Only it's just like a piece.
Calzone? Or-
Yeah, more like a calzone on a stick. That's it.
You talking about Tino's?
Right there on the main drag, right
Yeah.
there by the Star Tribune building.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
that's it. Yeah.
Oh my God,
the
that's
best, man.
So good.
But
Really?
sorry to interrupt you. Yeah,
No,
sorry.
but I'm just. I think we're gonna do it later this summer.
That's a
where
good
each
idea.
house just has to pick one thing
My
to
wife
do.
said the same thing to me last night. I
You're
think we're
gonna
going to
do
do
it
it
once
later
this
this summer.
summer?
She said later, something to look
Later
forward
this
to.
summer. Good for
Yeah,
you.
that's what she said. Later this
The day
summer.
before Labor Day, unofficial start of fall.
What happens first?
Corey comes back
Coronavirus
on the door.
vaccine.
All right.
Parrish wins initials or Hawk gets laid.
Oh, Parrish wins initials.
So close today.
Corey, you're out on this, but anyone, the last couple of years, there's a place up by the education building and that Liney stage or whatever.
Oh, yeah, sure.
There's
Yeah,
a
great
little
place, yeah.
stand called K-Vet, and there's two actual locations in Minneapolis and one in Brooklyn Center, Brooklyn Park, one of them. But they have this giant egg roll on a stick, and they have these little cream cheese wontons that are so good that we drive to Minneapolis or to Brooklyn Center to get their food. And it's just a little different. It's not quite as big of an egg roll, and the opposite way. The wontons are bigger at the restaurant, but they're so good. I love the idea of a neighborhood state fair.
That is a great
We're gonna
idea.
steal it.
Parrish, you might have to be a part of it, man. If you're coming over to, if Scooter's family's involved, you're going to have to be involved.
Yeah, I'm a good taste tester.
I bet.
You're an extended neighborhood family member.
But if you had to pick one of the foods, of all the state fair foods, which one's it going to be?
He's gonna
Cheese
do
curds.
Yeah, right.
For
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's what you're going to do. Isn't
I
it?
mean, I love mini donuts. I love the fresh cut fries, but when I think state fair, the first thing I think of is cheese curds.
What about you, Sauce? What's the first thing you think of food-wise? You can't think too
The
long.
fries.
Bam, fries, right?
Yeah.
AJ?
Right outside the food building, there's a small stand. It's the Danielson daughters onion rings.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know exactly
They're
what you're talking about.
So good.
Yeah. What about you, Perry?
Corn, pork chop on a stick.
Oh, dude, corn on the cob. That's another good call.
On the cob. Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't decide.
But those two go together, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, the Euros are great.
What about you, Zach?
The gizmo sandwich.
Oh yeah.
Italian
Yeah.
beef, cheese.
Yeah,
oh,
I didn't think Gremlins would taste that good, but
Can't get water on them.
for me, it's not even close, man. And I mean, when I think of this, I can actually taste it. It makes my mouth water. Those goddamn cookies, when they just put them in the bucket and the bucket's overflowing, and you got to eat
Yeah.
enough to
Oh,
shut the
yeah.
bucket.
Yep.
They're perfect. That's a
Yeah.
perfect chocolate chip cookie.
Yeah.
You gotta. eat
It's a
enough to shut
perfect
the bucket.
chocolate
Yeah.
chip cookie.
Yeah, they're the best.
Yeah. Have you ever asked them, hey, you know what? You don't have to fill it all the way to the brim because I want to be able to shut it. They look at you like you're from another country.
Yeah.
Like, what did you just say? I
Yeah.
don't understand
What
your
the fuck
language,
was
Much
sir.
like the Sam Adams bottles in the recycling bins around the country, they want you to spill. Like, if you theoretically don't want those cookies, they just want that entire street to be
Yeah,
layered
right.
with cookies that have fallen off the top of the pile.
It's like a
Smash
trail to
Sweet
the
Martha's.
cook. It's like
Everybody-
Hansel and
sad.
Gretel.
I watch them piling up the cookies like I watch like a NHL like overtime.
Yeah.
Where I just want it to keep going, and when it finally does, it's like and it's like all right, whatever. I guess I has to. But
Yeah, right.
I'm kind of disappointed.
I think it was Sarah Jane who was the first person I saw do this. It's such a pro move. They bring Ziploc bags.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So you take the top
Yeah.
off and you just put them in.
brilliant.
Right,
Yeah, that's a
So
great
it's like
idea.
a
I
bag
like
of
your
cookies
idea
as
better.
well.
Just eat them until it fits.
Yeah, I've never had a problem with that.
Because as good as they are when they're hot, they're not great
No,
when they're room
they're-
temperature.
They're
and
not
they get
bad.
hard.
They're just cookies.
Yeah.
But Sweet Martha's piping hot is super, super, super good.
And they're the perfect size where you can just keep popping them in.
Really hungry right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too, man. Can you
too.
tell? Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you know, Zach, I know we got to do that, and I don't know if I can do it next week or not, but we got to make a run to South Dakota at some point. You're right. All right, here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. No Rube party tonight, but you're probably hearing that. You already know it.
Postponed.
There is no such thing as birthday cake Miracle Whip.
None of us got that right away.
I know. What else? I won the initials. I bought a steering wheel for my Xbox, so I'm going to play race car games.
Oh, hell
I'm
yeah.
excited about
Where'd you
that.
get it at? Where'd you get it?
I finally got one on Amazon. They finally had one. It's not the really expensive one that I wanted, but I needed one to hold me over.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. So I'm excited to try that tonight.
Have fun.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Parrish,
Appreciate it.
you
Thank
still playing your Quest? You still playing VR or not?
Look at his face when he said
That's
that.
so sweet. It's like I was his boy. He's like, hey, you know what?
I think about you every time I do the boxing.
It's tiring, right?
Yeah.
I think
tiring
about
as
him every
hell,
time I
dude.
box the clown.
Yeah. You
Same
think
thing.
about Parrish?
Yep.
That's fucked.
It's still about the most fun I'm having playing video games. That VR thing is just amazing.
Yeah,
Oculus
incredible.
Quest kicks so much ass. It's so immersive. You just forget that you're in there.
The Beat Saber.
Beat Saber is super fun. Super Hot is
How can I
incredible.
gotta get that?
I love those games.
Super hot.
It's the one that's like the Matrix. It's super. It's just super trippy. Time. It's like your time warp, Paul.
Yeah, I saw that yesterday. It was sweet. Or 2 days ago. What day is it?
Today's Friday.
Got it.
Yesterday was Thursday.
Sweet.
The day before that was Wednesday.
AJ, did you just mention it, kind of in passing, that you go on your game to do your workout? Are you using that exclusively for workouts now? That video game you like?
Yeah, I mean, we walk outside, but
Yeah.
we either do Just Dance, which is just like a
for sure.
DDR kind of thing. But we have the subscription, so there's hundreds of songs, and we can do. There's like a what do they call it? Sweat mode or something, where it kind of
Sweating
tracks
to the
your-
oldies with
it tracks
Richard
your-
Simmons.
Oh, yeah.
tracks your calories and
That's on
whatnot.
Wii?
But we'll do that for a period of time.
Yeah.
We'll set it for 30 minutes, 40 minutes, whatever, and just dance. And then we do Ring Fit Adventure, which is actually a really good workout. It uses like a Pilates ring
yeah, that's
that you
the-
hook
yeah.
your controller to. We did that here. We did
Yeah,
the
we
squeeze
did.
the
Yeah.
squeeze bit. Obviously, those ones you can get like guided exercises like you're in the virtual gym.
Sure.
But then there's a game to it, which is you're going through this adventure and you have one strapped to your leg, and to get your character from here to there, you got to run in place, which moves your body. And then you have to battle these monsters, which you battle by doing exercises. And as you go on, you unlock different exercises. Some are core, some are legs, some are your arms, whatever. And it's a really good workout, and you get progress. And it's long too. There's like 12 worlds, and each world is like 5 levels or something. So
Good idea.
I do that. If I haven't closed my rings on my watch or whatever, we pop it out on at night and get my sweat on.
Mark, have you?
But you can't buy it at the store because it's so popular because of the quarantine stuff.
No shit.
The Ring Fit thing is hard to get?
I don't think you can get it.
Wow.
For two reasons. Everybody wanted home workout solutions.
Yeah, of course.
And secondarily, all the plants in Asia had been shut down. So Nintendo, all the supply chains had been shut down.
Have you intentionally yet worked out with the Oculus Quest, or is it all just accidental when you're screwing around?
A little bit of both. Yeah, and you going into boxing, I can only last a couple games.
Agreed.
Shoulders are
I'm
killing
winded.
me. Yeah, and Turner hates the VR after I do a little boxing.
Sweat.
He's
It's
just
all sweaty.
Oh,
That's pretty gross.
poor kid.
Yeah, most of mine so far has been like I'll play super hot for like an hour, and I realize I've been like squatting and bending and twisting and just like kind of doing like yoga without noticing that I'm doing yoga. So like after an hour, I'll be like, my back's kind of sore. Like my quads are hurting. Like how many squats have I done ducking bullets in the last hour?
Or you wake up the next morning and
Right.
yeah.
Which is kind of depressing, right? You're like, I'm
The worst.
sore. I didn't do anything.
My legs hurt.
My legs hurt.
That'll be enough.
Parrish, you should get that, by the way. Download Super Hot if you don't have it already. Super hot. It's super awesome. No pun intended. It's a lot of fun.
What does a game cost? Sorry, we can wrap this up.
They're like 15, 20 bucks.
Kind of like mini games, right? I mean, the
Yeah.
novelty is more than the
They're starting to
length of the game.
They're starting to work on the depth of the games. They're going to be deeper and deeper games as we go on. But yeah, I mean, Super Hot. I've finished the whole main story mode, and now there's like an endless game that's just as fun. But I think it probably took me actual game time, maybe I don't know, a couple hours to get through. 2, 3, 4 hours to get through.
For $15, that's fine.
Yeah, but
right?
the endless mode is sweet. Like I would have just paid $15 for the endless mode to just because once you get through it, then you can see it's basically how many people you can kill before you die, and there's like 7 different boards that you can pick from. So it's just about sitting there and trying to set your own personal record. So that part's just as fun.
Corey, everybody in this room, I guess. There is more chatter than I've ever heard, and I don't know if it's substantiated because there's rumors or whatever of is it called Nintendo World, Nintendo Land?
Nintendo Land, yeah.
Is that the Ghost Chase game, the Mario Chase? Of that, some semblance of that coming to Switch, and the people who are talking about it are it's an IGN podcast I listen to, but all about Nintendo, and they talk all the time about how that's one of the best games that had no support to it.
Zero.
Because it was 4 mini games and then never got any more levels or anything like that. But they talk about how great both the Chase, specifically
was great.
Chase and Luigi's Ghost Hunt or whatever. How those games were, and there's talk that there is something potentially in the development because this is the 30th anniversary, not 30th, 50th Mario, something with Mario. Some sort of
35,
and this was supposedly going to be the Mario year, the E3 that got canceled. Nintendo always has like a themed booth, and I say booth, but it's like a whole room where it was like Zelda. It was the whole world, and it was all decorated like that. This was going to be Mario year, and they're talking about bringing all the old games back, the ones that aren't supported on Switch yet, so like Mario 64.
Well, we need
Sunshine.
a Mario Galaxy 3. Did you guys ever play 1 and 2 on Wii or Wii U?
No.
Wii?
No.
They were awesome.
Yeah, but like those
need a
sorts of
Galaxy
games
3.
coming back out, including a new Mario game.
Okay.
Because they've stopped supporting that as well. So it might not come till December, but they're talking about this. It was supposed to be the year of Mario, and that got delayed because it's harder to code from home than it is at the office, et cetera, et cetera. But Paper Mario, that just got announced the other day, right?
Yep.
Or a week ago.
Yep.
So just thought that was cool.
Paper Mario?
Yeah, Paper Mario's had I don't know how many different versions of Paper Mario there's been, but those are
like
kind of sneaky fun.
4-ish.
My wife loved them. Yeah, something like that. It's just a Mario feel with like a different graphic look.
Yeah.
It's a side scroller. It was fun. I played one of them, I think. And I think Angie's played the other ones, but she likes it more than I do. But it's all right.
It's a
something.
Mario game. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a Mario game. This one is it's something origami. So there's like it's a 3D paper kind of twist to it, which is just cool art style.
I still prefer like Mario Galaxy, Mario 64, Mario Odyssey. What did I say? Yeah, Galaxy, Odyssey, 64. I like the open world Marios.
Yeah, Odyssey was pretty cool.
It was cool.
Yeah.
And they're already saying they're working on a new Zelda, right? But they just haven't been specific about.
Yeah, they even said
details.
that might have been back end of this year too,
Jeez.
depending on whatever. And the timeline was like basically they haven't had a year when there's a new system where there isn't either a Mario or a Zelda game, and this would be the first year from what we know of right now where there's nothing scheduled already. Because Zelda was released. That's 3 years ago now.
Yeah, the first year Switch came out, right?
And so was Mario. We were in London. I downloaded it in London at the hotel when we were there for the Vikings game. That was later that year, but 3 years ago. It was, 2017.
Zelda was incredible. That was so much fun.
Yeah.
Love it. That's my all-time favorite.
Oof. It's a top 10er for me, sure. It's definitely in that conversation. All right, you guys ready?
Yeah.
That'll do it.
All right, that'll do it.
Take care of each other. Be careful, please. Bye. Love ya.